consumed by the desire for power and control. But because Frodo forgives Gollum repeatedly and intentionally demonstrates mercy, allowing Gollum to stay with him, unintentionally giving Gollum control of the ring one final moment before he and the ring are destroyed. That saves Frodo and Middle-earth. Now, I hope you're not tired of my many referrals to the writer Fred Buechner, but here's another one. He writes that we really don't know much of what our days will hold. There is so much that's not in our control. But what we do have is this under our control: the chance to speak the truth, to show mercy, to ease another's burden, the chance to resist evil, to remember all the good times and good people of our past, to be brave, to be strong, to be glad. The Catholic writer and social activist Dorothy Day wrote this: "If I did not have faith that the works of mercy did lighten the sum total of suffering in the world, so that those who are suffering somehow mysteriously find their pain lifted, if I did not believe this, the problem of evil would indeed be overwhelming." I hope you have been surprised by mercy, whether it was some kind of mercy extended to you, or mercy you impulsively shared with someone else, or simply mercy that you witnessed. One of the most vivid human examples of mercy that I've seen happen 30 years ago when I lived in Romania. Give me a moment to set the scene. I was at the hospital in town where I lived at the time to get an x-ray because of a sore back. Now, if you had an x-ray or an MRI or a CAT scan, you know what the rooms in our country are like. Sterile, painted white, shiny, clean, void of any decoration, save maybe the colorful scrubs that a technician might wear, or some sign, some warning sign on the wall. Well, this x-ray room in Romania is not like that. Its walls are patchily painted lime bean green with white plaster showing through. The room had a big window with big wooden shutters that swung into the room. There was no glass in the window. It faced out onto a courtyard with old park benches scattered around, and the courtyard grass was so tall that I could see it growing up through the park benches' wooden slats. The wooden slats were meant to be white, but they had been painted so long ago they had become a kind of mousy gray. In contrast, the x-ray table was stunning, beautifully crafted. Someone cared who made this x-ray table. It was made out of wood with a parquet pattern that reminds me of the basketball court where the Boston Celtics play. I don't have a better example, I'm sorry. But the top of the table was all of these small pieces of wood in a very precise geometric pattern, and it was polished so much that I could practically see myself in the reflection. The view to the courtyard through this glassless window, an exotic x-ray table, poorly painted walls, altogether created a scene that was made even stranger by the fact that besides me and the nurse, who looked like she had medaled in weightlifting in the most recent Olympics, there were 9 or 10 other people in the x-ray room, standing against one of the walls. It was already more than I could process. The table, the window, the walls, the people, I in my underwear. But then I heard a wailing sound through the window, someone crying in anguish so loudly that the x-ray room, which had been pretty quiet, fell completely silent. A younger woman, physically supported by an older woman, walked into view and then collapsed on one of the benches. They both were dressed all in black, their heads bowed, the older woman patting the younger woman on the back, then hugging her, then patting her on the back again. So here I was in this strange country, in my own pain, about to be x-rayed, in a room that was as reassuringly clean as a car repair shop and filled with people who looked like they were waiting in line at the DMV when mercy just showed up out of nowhere, changing a situation that I thought was all about me into something that was far more important and that had nothing to do with me, except it had everything to do with me. I have no idea what the women in tears were thinking about or feeling, but it wouldn't be hard to imagine at a hospital what it might have been. What I realized much later was that at times, for reasons of my own, I have been that young woman. And in my own meager way, I have at times also been the older woman. I have received mercy, and I've made conscious decisions to bestow it. And I can only assume that that's true for everyone. Every time we give mercy, we receive mercy. We receive it from a benevolent shadow with a capital B that follows us everywhere. Blessed are the merciful, for we will receive mercy. We need mercy, like we need water or air, and we have it unconditionally through the love of Christ. God chose, God chose to share his mercy with us by sacrificing Jesus, and we need to remember that and to share whatever mercy we can. We may each sometimes be the young woman in black someday, but we can always be the older woman in black, leaning into mercy whenever and wherever we can. Amen.
Let's stand for a hymn of response. I have decided to follow Jesus.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. The world behind me, the cross before me. No turning back, no turning back. No, not go with me, I still will follow. Will not go with me, I still will follow. Will not go with me, I still will follow. No turning back, no turning back.
As you go forth this week, may the Spirit of Christ attend you. May you be an instrument of God's good news and an instrument of his mercy. Go in peace.
Spirit of holiness, wisdom and faithfulness, with no